everyone, today I'm here to do a mashup review. I've done these several times before. They're just pretty much mashup reviews where I take a couple, 3, 4, however many books and just do kind of mini reviews all in one video. The 3 books I'm going to be reviewing today are The Start of Me and You by Emery, which is an ebook, so I don't have a physical copy. The next book is Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon, which I listened to, and the last book is Circus Mirandus by Cassie Beasley. Now, if you're interested in all these reviews, great, just keep watching. If you're interested in only one of the books I'm talking about, I'm going to leave annotations right here, and I'll skip right to the book I'm going to talk about. But anyway, let's begin. I will keep these spoiler-free, except for Everything, Everything. I will talk a little bit about spoilers in that, and these are going to be kind of short reviews, but a little bit more in-depth, so let's begin. The first book I'm going to talk about is The Start of Me and You by Emery. This is the second book I've read by Emery. I've read her Open Road Summer. I didn't really enjoy it, but I really like this one a lot more. This is just a very cute, contemporary, friendship-based novel. It's about a girl named Paige who was dating a guy. They were dating very briefly, and then he died, and she's pretty much known as, you know, that dead guy's girlfriend. And so this new year of school is about to start. She's going to try to, like, you know, get over that, like, try to reinvent herself almost. She's setting her sights on this really popular guy, and then she starts getting close to his nerdy cousin named Max, and it's really about their relationship and how they progress and take friendship and all that kind of stuff. It was a very, very good book. I really loved the characters a lot more in this book previous than her other book, Open Road Summer. I just felt a little bit more of an action with them, and I really like the friendships. The friendships were great in this book. The romance aspect is very, very heavily built. Like, it takes a long time to get there. Even still, it's like, with a lot of contemporaries, you get a lot of satisfaction in the romance department in like the last 30 pages, so you don't feel like it's enough. You're always wanting more. At least that's how I always feel. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I really like this one. It's a very, very quick, fast-paced contemporary read. There's not much more to say about it, if I'm honest. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I'd probably give it like a 3.75. You know, I just kind of round up usually, but that's what I would give it. The second book I'm talking about I actually listened to, and that's Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon, and this was a very interesting, very good read. This is about a girl named Madeline who has Skid's disease, which is quintessentially like the bubble boy type of disease where she can't leave her house at all. She's got filtered air. That disease, she can't really go outside because any sort of contact with anything could trigger something in her immune system and she could die. And so she's 17, I think, turning 18 in this book, and her house is all she's ever known. She's only close with her nurse named Carla, and her mom and her are best friends. They play like board games every night, and they have movie nights every week, and it's just a very odd relationship, but she's never rebelled. She's never, been really depressed about her disease because there's nothing she can do about it, I mean, she can't really rebel. I mean, how are you going to rebel to be like, I'm going to go outside and screw dying, So she's never really done that. But then everything changes when she has new neighbors, and it moves in a family, and the boy's name is Ollie, and he's 17 and her age, and they start talking via IM, and then he starts visiting her because she can't have visitors. They have to go through like an hour decontamination and everything, and she starts, thinking, I should rebel because I only have one life and I'm wasting it even though I have this disease, and all this other type of stuff. And it's very interesting. This book is very just interesting. Like, you can get glimpses of what's going to happen throughout the book, and you read it and you're like, you need to rebel, Madeline, you need to go outside and you need to do things, but they're like, oh crap, you might die, so why would you do that? And you need to love Ollie, you need to be with him, but then you're like, well, it's going to go nowhere because what's going to be inside with you 24/7 all day, every day? And it's just, you go through those emotions when you read this book of like, you just feel like for this character, you're like, oh, I understand this, but you should do this, but oh, you got this disease. Very good book. I really love that I listened to an audiobook. The only qualm I have about the audiobook is there was a female narrator and she did all the voices, and I really liked all her voices, but I didn't like her voice for Ollie. Like, it was very weird, which is odd because when her and Ollie would have emails or IMs, they actually had a guy voice come in that was Ollie, and I really liked his voice. I was like, he should be Ollie's voice all the time, and I didn't understand why they couldn't do that. I thought that'd be a great differentiator. How I felt personally, I don't know if everyone's felt that way, but that's just how I am about some audiobooks. I would like some sort of like differentiated thing, or at least have a clear, different voice of yourself when you are talking like from a different point of view of the opposite sex. That's just for me. Talk about spoilers real quick because I just want to say that. So if you haven't read this book, I'll give you a thumbs up when you're good to go. But anyway, her not having the disease, I kind of saw that coming. I didn't really guess till about halfway in, until she went outside first and nothing ever happened to her. I was like, and her mom, like, she freaked out, but, like, I think if she would really have that disease, her mom would, like, generally freak out and, like, try to, like, bring in 50,000 doctors. But that didn't happen. It was just kind of, oh, I gotta wash your clothes. Oh, don't ever go outside again. And I'm like, something's not right. And then you start thinking, she has this horrible disease, but why hasn't she had, like, a ton of doctor's appointments? Why she haven't, like, had some sort of, like, gone to the hospital for MRIs, all that kind of other stuff. And I get that, you know, it's not safe, but I'm like, if you have that disease, you're probably going to have to go to that sometimes. And I just started guessing that. And then when she took the trip to Hawaii and nothing happened, I was like, oh, this is definitely not, this is not a real disease. And then she got sick, and then I'm like, maybe it is. And then the whole quintessential scene where she looks through her mom's documents, never found anything, and her mom pretty much had a delusion of her having this disease and was pretty much having her mom trying to keep her safe. And I really struggle with that because I felt for her mom so deeply because she lost her dad and her, you know, other son, because she lost her husband and her son, and she just wanted to keep her daughter safe. I get that, but then I'm like, you can't do a straight up Rapunzel move and lock your daughter up on a tower and never let her outside to see the world. That's just not okay to do that. It just kind of blew me away. I love how it was written. It was a very, very heavily built up scene, and Madeline, I think, could have handled it better, as her mom could handle it better. But I mean, who goes through that? Thinking you have a disease 18 years of your life where you have not even touched the outside world pretty much, and you learn that that disease doesn't even exist, or you don't have that disease, and the world's right at your fingertips. Of course you're going to be pissed off because you've been locked up forever. And it's just, it was very, very, very good. I really like that. So that's what I'm talking about, spoilers of just, what did you guys think if you read that part? Like, I was very intrigued by the whole thing. So anyway, we're good on spoilers now. The ending, I really love how the ending was open. I do like open endings sometimes. I really felt like this one concluded greatly. I didn't really feel like it needed to be wrapped up completely. I really felt like with this type of book, with the world and her disease and everything, I felt like it should have been open. So I love the way it ended. A 4 out of 5, definitely. I think I would have given it a 5 out of 5 if the voices or audiobook would have been a little bit different. But either way, I really love this book, and I highly recommend you check it out because it's just so interesting. And the last book I'm going to talk about is Circus Mirandus by Cassie Beasley. This is a middle grade book, and it is quite magical and quite adorable. This is about a boy named Micah who's lived with his grandpa Ephraim because his parents have died, and his grandpa Ephraim's quite old, so he gets sick. And all throughout Micah's life, Grandpa Ephraim has always told him about these magical stories about Circus Mirandus and how he was a boy and how he met this man, the Lightbender. And Ephraim's always, you know, thought it's just like one of those stories. And then he learns that Circus Mirandus is real, and this man called the Lightbender actually owes his grandpa a miracle. So Micah goes on this wild goose chase of trying to get in contact with Circus Mirandus and Lightbender to give his grandpa's miracle, you know, to save his life pretty much. And this is a very fast-paced book. I will say it has about maybe like 250 pages, and it's pretty much all told in like a week, if you will. Like, it comes with his grandpa being sick, finding out the circus is real and going to it. It happens very, very quickly, but it's kind of slow written, if that makes sense. Like, the span of the whole storyline of the book is a week, but it goes a little bit slow. So I didn't like that much, but I'm like, it's a middle grade book. Of course, you know, you can't just be going jump at a plot point. I still really liked it. I thought it was a very, very adorable book. It was very magical. It made you want to believe in magic. It reminded me of Harry Potter a little bit, just because the whole circus thing, and they had different acts. And there's not much to say about this book because it's exactly as what I told you, you know. Micah's going on a mission to the Circus Mirandus. You know, you got the man who bends light. You have the bird lady that can, like, sing, and birds just flock to her voice. You have all these animals that can just, like, you can teach an elephant to do all these things, like to paint and all this other type of stuff. And you have, when you first go into Circus Mirandus, like, your ticket could be, like, a shoe or something. It has to be only, like, you that gets into it. Only select few children get into Circus Mirandus. And it's not supposed to be, like, something you remember all your life. It's just, like, a little getaway, if you will. But Ephraim is one of the lucky few who has remembered it and always thought of it. And yeah, I really like this book. I haven't read a lot of middle grade books, but I'm very glad I did. I just thought it was very adorable. I keep saying that, but that's just how I felt when I was reading it. I'm gonna pass this down to my nephew to read this because he likes books and I would like to see what he thinks about it. For this one, I gave this one also like a 3.5, 3.75. You know, it wasn't a lot of depth, it was a middle grade book, but I really enjoyed it for what it was, honestly. So that was my mashup review. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you like these mashup reviews, let me know in the comments because I would like to know if you like them, honestly. And if you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them because let's start talking about them. That'd be great, and I will see you guys later.